You have to edit it, and I have to write at least I plan to write the handout sheet that we're supposed to give to the class about this.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Right, I forgot about that entirely.
Digitization and dissemination. Digitization is the conversion of text, pictures, or sound into a digital form that can be processed by a computer. Dissemination is the action or fact of spreading something, especially information, widely. This chapter goes over the opinions and philosophies of Walter Benjamin, Marshall McLuhan, and Jean Baudrillard.
In my opinion, this chapter is all about how information, there's too much of it now. There's too much information about the art that we have, and there's too much art, and that is a problem. Our current infrastructure is not able to deal with the amount of information and beautiful art that we have, and because of that, our systems of recommending art is misaligned. That's the reason AI is a problem. Not because it's making images that are bad, but because it's making images that are derivative, and our society is showing it to everyone. No one likes AI slop. Have you ever been recommended AI slop by a real person? No, you haven't.
Walter Benjamin, yeah, that's his name. Walter Benjamin's philosophy lies in the digitized form of art that is cinema, which Benjamin believed to be the superior form of art, specifically in reference to Charlie Chaplin, as he believed anyone could understand the meaning over something that is subjective, like surrealist art, Pablo Picasso.
Great thing about approachable media is anyone can approach it. Anyone can appreciate a good movie compared to a good piece of art by fucking elitist standards. If you watch it and you like it, and then it's good.
This opinion doesn't quite apply to modern standards of movies, as many have objective and ambiguous meanings and complex plots, which not all audience members may grasp. Marshall McLuhan highly praised the capability to socialize through media, while he deemed books promoted isolation and individualism.
I'd like to just cut in here and say I agree entirely. Books, those are so antisocial compared to all the other media we're enjoying nowadays.
The form of media he focused most heavily on being television, and he had worked previously with MTV. As the channel fell out of light, it began to fall back into skits from the past they knew would work, tugging at nostalgia, which in doubt promoted a homogenized monocultural view, that linear thinking which McLuhan was against. Section 3. Baudrillard Jonathan. I just Google Translate it.
Yeah.
How to pronounce?
Jean Baudrillard.
Baudrillard? Where's the L's? Jean Baudrillard deems the computer screen causes the audience to be mentally absent, absorbed into their own terminal. He had a very cynical outlook on society and its connections to technology. He believed everything is curated to be photographed and thus is disingenuous. Even incredible tragedies have no real impact, as they are just images on a screen to those that aren't directly affected. But much new comes from digitization, such as things like video games, web-based artwork, anime, indie artists that are able to compete with record labels from their own garages, things anyone can participate in, leading to great instances of socialization through social media, but yet also emphasizes isolation by achieving it all from behind a screen.
I don't get the sense that Cynthia Freeland was the most enthused for the digital age and new media. Her perspective, along with who she chose to deep dive into in this chapter, feels very biased and out of date. In fact, it is out of date. This publication of this book was released in 2003, while the original version was released in 2001. So, this perspective of art and digital media, 25 years old. I mean, some of you in this room right now, you, yes, I see you. Yeah, you right there. You weren't even a twinkle in your parents' eyes yet. You weren't even born. You didn't even exist. That being said, I think there are some points that are still somewhat relevant to 2025. Walter Benjamin's concerns about reproductions losing the aura of an original piece can be comparable to today's issues with digital copycats, intellectual property theft, and artificial intelligence. Marshall McLuhan's The Medium is the Message could be related to the amount of just slop, garbage, mind-numbing content that's out there on the internet. And it also correlates to Baudrillard's ideas of an audience just simply being absent. In the end, Cynthia Freeland's chapter on digitizing and disseminating desperately needs to be updated for a more modern 2025 plus audience. These opinions just feel irrelevant and redundant to read. We all already know what happens after 2001. Boomer!
Okay, I don't think that Cynthia Freeland could have done a better job with what she had at her disposal and for what she was doing. Cynthia Freeland's book is titled Art Theory, A Very Short Introduction, so her goal is not like talking about philosophy a whole bunch as it applies to the modern day. She is writing a textbook. But I think that what she says about digitization of art is faulty. I think the subject matter that she's talking about has not finished, it has not concluded. I think that's the problem I have with how she approaches the subject matter, because she is looking at philosophers who are all dead. Ulrich Drad died in 2007, so he would have been around for 6 years after the book was published. He had another 6 years in him, but still he was 77 when he died. These are old names that have old ideas about these modern problems. Walter Benjamin was born 130 years ago. 130 years ago, he tried to enlist in the First World War. That guy is talking about how art changed because of the way we access it and how accessible it is to the people, and how it is an amazing thing that the ritual, the essence, the awe, the overwhelming experience of finding yourself in somewhere you couldn't even imagine is because that beauty is spread across all our lives. I mean, we've kind of gone past Walter Benjamin's era of media's finally being digitized. We're finally being able to access all of this art, and the big new thing is being able to look at pictures of the Mona Lisa or whatever. We are in a world where pretty much anyone could access any kind of media that you ask them to find these days. I don't know, the subject of media digitization and dispersion is more of a matter of how we engage with the art, and that extends to today. And I think looking at how we sort through the information now that it has all been digitized and dispersed is incredibly relevant. I don't know, this video is way too long, and I am really trying to make it way more than it should be, with the help of my collaborators. So Matthew, what are your thoughts on this chapter of art?
It was great. It was so fantastic. I couldn't believe what happened.
Sorry, just gotta, you were out of focus. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
And I just thought it was great. It was so fantastic, the details. She really plays both sides, and she doesn't really discriminate or say anything negative. She deconstructs a lot of the...
That was my thoughts exactly. Thanks.
Yep.
You're... Bye.
That was short and nice.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for. Yeah. Yeah, I very little looked at the camera at that one. I mostly just read from it, and then I kind of did a cheeky glance up at Charlie Chaplin. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Charlie Chaplin. That guy.
That guy.
That guy. Recording.
No way.
Our,
Don't hit the table.
our current infrastructure is not... Alright, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Digitization and dispersion. Okay, so this chapter is about how there's too much art, we've got so much of it, and it's too much that it's ruining the art. We've got all these different copies of the same art pieces, and it's bad.
That was sick. was focusing on shuffling everything.
Have you ever been recommended AI slot by a real person? No, you haven't, because... No, that you haven't. You're lying. Stop lying. This is a serious endeavor. I don't know if that works or not.
Get it away. I hate his last name. I'm just gonna Gene Baudrillard. Baudrillard? Baudrillard. You have a terrible last name.
Yeah. Not even Joe, Billy, John,
Gene.
Doug.
Gene.
That was a genuine attempt to try and pronounce his name.
Gene Baudrillard. Baudrillard? I don't know how to pronounce.
Section 3, Joan Bildrarde.
Section 3. Buradlard Jonathan. Okay, I need to do it. And then I had the conclusion segment, which I may as well record. It might not be in it. We could leave it to later, but
I could just like cut it up and make you say whatever I want, so it's good at it's whatever you want.
everything that I say is real and factual. And then you edit it to say something stupid.
Yeah.
But I feel like that doesn't tie into his like thing about computers. So.
Wait, sorry, can you say that entire thing again?
The first segment, because
I don't know. Let's go from 5 a.m. this morning.
from the top.
He is. He is. He is. He is.
Not a doctor. Shh.
From your lawn.